Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. Biden's Senate race panic. 4 key states are now dangerously tight with Republicans as Dems pour money into campaigns with midterms losing large. I threw that sound effect in just for fun. Before we get started, I want to ask any of my subscribers. I noticed when I post a meme on the community post that I remind them that some people have been getting unsubbed and their notifications have been changed. Those of you that have subbed, check your subscription status. And those of you that have clicked the notifications, please click the bell notification for all. That's been getting changed by this website. Whether on purpose or not, well, we'll have to see. But every time I do bring it up, I pick up several subs. So we're going to have to see. Well, let's see what the Democrats are up to. Democrats and Republicans are funding millions in their close races. Incumbents in Washington, Nevada, and New Hampshire are fighting to keep their seats. Meanwhile, Democrats are pouring hefty sums of cash into Washington state, suggesting discomfort about the state that Biden won by nearly 20 points. Yeah.
But hey, you reap what you sow, bitches.
Democrats are nervously eyeing several key Senate races across the country as a once positive outlook for their chances of keeping the chamber now hang on a nice edge. I like that. A little dramatic there. Election forecasts have been long showed a Republican likely winning the House and Representatives, but the left had remained hopeful about keeping the Senate because of the 30-odd seats. A third comes up every 2 years. Those you don't know, the vast majority, 2/3 of the seats in this cycle are Republicans trying to defend. It's much harder to defend. It's a lot more money to defend. But the next cycle in 2 years in 2024 is going to be the polar opposite. The vast majority of them that are defending will be Democrats. And that's where you strike the final blow. It's currently 50-50 with Kamala Harris. Yeah, we know that. Republicans have 21 seats to fight for this year, while Democrats are only defending 14.
But hey, you reap what you sow, bitches.
But tightening races combined with polls suggesting an 11th hour boost in GOP voter enthusiasm are gradually shifting the tide, potentially putting a Republican victory in the Senate within the reach of November 8th. Now, we all know, any of us that follow politics knows that the vast majority of polls, 95%, are skewed either a little bit or a lot to Democrats. Everybody knows that. Even the pollsters know that. Democratic incumbents in Washington, Nevada, and New Hampshire are fighting in competitive battles to keep their seats. These are seats that shouldn't be competitive for them, and they are. In Pennsylvania, Democrat John Fetterman's clumsy debate performance on Tuesday night shows he is very much grappling with lingering effects of a stroke he suffered in May. And anybody who saw that debate, they want two things: absolutely outraged that they allow the man to run. And number two is how poorly he did. Now, I just noticed today that Oprah Winfrey endorsed Fetterman. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. The man's brain is broken. It's not like he walks with a cane or he's in a wheelchair like Governor Abbott or any of those things. It's your brain that's the main thing that you do to represent people. I know in the early 2000s, I was a local elected official here in upstate New York. And there's a Democrat's key Democrat races. Now, I noticed they don't put Florida on there anymore. That was a key one. And I noticed they don't put Georgia. They must have some inside polling that maybe, even though a lot of people don't like Herschel Walker, he might win. But if Nevada goes to the Republicans, the Dems lose the Senate, period.
But hey, you reap what you sow, bitches.
Now, we're going to see if the Republicans in the House and Senate, when they do take over in January, if and when they take over both, grow some balls. Grow some balls. I won't play the video here of Fetterman. It's too painful to watch. His lead over Republican Mehmet Oz has been shrinking. That's the part I don't get. I wish the guy well. I mean, I'm a Christian person. I don't wish anything bad on him. He shouldn't be there. I blame his family, his close friends, and the Democrat Party for allowing him to do this. His lead has been shrinking, the CBS News poll concocted up until the day before the debate showed that Trump, a backed celebrity doctor, only trailing Fetterman by 2 points when he was down by 5 from the last month.
But hey, you reap what you sow, bitches.
Democrats also appear to be panicking in solidly blue Washington State, where veteran Senator Patty Murray is up against Republican challenger Tiffany Smiley. The left is pouring millions of dollars in the state Senate race. That means they're not that money that they would use from the Senate Democratic committee, because there's another committee for the House and one for the Senate that raises and distributes money. That means then they're taking away money from other places. There's only X amount to go around. It's a ton of money, but it's not unlimited. A new Survey USA polls Murray slipping below the 50% majority support threshold. And that's the other thing that might happen. I sure as hell hope that this doesn't happen. It ends up 50 Republican, 49 Democrat. And in Georgia, if you don't reach the 50% threshold, you have to have a special election runoff on the top two. So that means a third party can get like 1% or 1.5% and make it go into a runoff. Well, we did that in Georgia twice, and look what happened. Her gains from where she was trailing Murray by 18 points. I love this. This is great. Absolutely great. But it looks like the Supreme Court's overhaul of federal abortion protections, which happened in June. When they say overhaul, all they did was put the way the abortion laws are done in the terms and all the things that go along with legislation to the states where they belong to begin with. But it's not going to energize Democrats based on the same level the party had hoped. Yeah, all they have is racism, abortion, racism, abortion, racism, abortion, racism, abortion, homophobic, you're this, you're that. People get tired of it. And my understanding is the biggest change besides Hispanic votes to the Republicans is white, educated, suburban women are voting Republican this time. And that was the people that lived in the suburbs, the white, educated, college-educated women that turned against Trump in 2020. Now they're going back to the Republican Party. And Sonny there from our favorite show, The View, said when she heard that white, educated, suburban women are voting Republican now and switching, that's like roaches voting for Raid, roach killer. It's amazing to me. People suck so bad. Well, it's still a significant issue. The abortion issue is taking a back seat to problems with crime and the economy in voters' minds. Of course. You can't feed your children, the ones you didn't abort. Can't feed your children. You lost your job. You can't put gas in your car to go to work. You can't pay your rent and you become homeless. I think that might be more important for that time than the abortion issue. Republicans have watched that race with a wiry but hopeful eye. That's in New Hampshire. And there they are there. It's a tight race. Now, my understanding is Mitch McConnell, who's running this thing for as far as the money goes, pulled some money from the Republican candidate as it gets closer and closer and gave it some of it to McCluskey up in Alaska. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. And we can go through the rest of this, but I think you get the general idea. I'm going to cruise through it if you want to read the article. It's interesting. It's the state's first election without Harry Reid, the former Nevada governor who served as a long-time Senate Democrat leader, who was a powerful political machine, helped keep the party afloat. Well, things change. Things change. Yeah, there's some people walking across the border. It's if Nevada flips, the Republicans will win the Senate. There's absolutely no question. Former Nevada Rep. Sheely Berkeley, a Democrat, told Daily Mail she was curiously optimistic about Cortez Mastro's chances of winning, but conceded that frustration over the pandemic still linger. Yes, do not forget who was in charge of authority and government when the states and local municipalities locked you down. Your children, your businesses, your livelihood, fired you if you wouldn't take a VAX. Now in New York State, a judge has ruled all the employees, at least at the government level, have to be rehired and give them pay retroactive, and the mayors are balking. Where's the Attorney General of New York to enforce the order? Interesting. Even the ones that didn't fight it, they said and did nothing. They're just as guilty. Remember that. They all have to go. Every single person either voiced their approval of these unlawful and draconian lockdowns or said nothing, didn't want to stick their neck out. They're both as guilty. Vote them out. And then make sure after they lose, you call their local offices and tell them why you did that. You voted the way you did. But it did create a lot of displacement. Even though our economy is hotter than a pistol right now, people, they were in their homes for 2.5 years and suffered losses that they're still living with. Suffered losses. Look at the years that our children behind in school. The social damage that you've done to them mentally, I mean, many may never recover from. I think a lot of this trans stuff for smaller kids is coming from that, frankly, if you want my opinion. But that's the way it is. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. I just pray more than anything that the Republicans, they've been given plenty of opportunities. As a conservative person, I feel like Charlie Brown and Lucy with a football. Lucy is the Republicans. They say, come on, kick the football. We won't pull it away from you this time. Well, what about Paul Ryan, first 2 years Trump was president? It's amazing to me. So we've got to trust him one more time because, frankly, we don't have a choice. But then you put the pressure on after they win. I mean, really put the pressure on. There's a realignment in the Republican Party nationally and statewide in a lot of places. Just like there's a realignment with the Dems. The Dems are getting flushed. They're flushing themselves down the toilet. The changing of the guard in the Republicans, and it couldn't come at a better time. We're going to have to see. But this is very, very good news. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.